Hey, Trevor. Trevor.
Awesome. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Stop Crying, I'm Talking podcast. See over here's Trevor. I'm Cody. We have been drinking just a notch, a tad bit, a little bit. Trevor's got some news for you. Let's go over to him.
What is this? Today news?
Yeah.
Alright, so for the month of June, I will be riding my bike 200 miles to raise money for children's cancer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you just told me that you're doing a charity. You didn't say, you were actually doing it for your, you were
So this thing is called the Great Cycle Challenge, and I committed to ride 200 miles in the month of June to raise $200 for to research for children's cancer.
Okay.
So
you're doing $1 a mile.
Basically. But I mean, I can do more miles. I can try to raise more money,
Yeah.
Just, if you guys...
Get after it.
Yes, I'll leave a link below, and if you guys want to leave a small donation, every dollar counts.
Yeah, leave that on, the Facebook page. You can leave that as a post, and leave it on... I don't know if you can leave it on YouTube, can you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can.
You can leave that just as a comment, or...
Yeah. And if you want to, I'll be posting updates on Instagram and stuff. So if you want to follow me on Instagram and follow me on that journey, my plan right now is to get 50 miles a week. 50 miles a week minimum, more if I can. So the nice thing is that you don't have to do all outdoor cycling. If you can go. If it's
on the bike,
raining or something, you can just do an indoor site.
Cold like it's been lately.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's pretty sweet.
I'm excited. Gives me an excuse to work out.
You don't need an excuse to work out. Just do it.
Just do it.
You know what? Let's just jump in right away. I'm in the mood. I was reading today, topics or jokes. People are there's things that are off limits for comedy. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like there's things that are off limits that people should talk about or shouldn't talk about?
I wouldn't say subjects, but certain words and certain phrases that might trigger people. Because you look at...
Give me an example.
Well, you're obviously not going to say the N-word, or under certain circumstances, you're not going to go to some special event and... Are you gonna do some stand-up comedy for some people with some disabilities and say the R word? I mean, you might. They might be okay with it.
Dude, that would be amazing. I feel like that would be the perfect place to drop it.
Maybe. You're probably not wrong.
But, I was just reading about it, an article or whatever today, and people are listing off, alright, here are the topics that should never be joked about or talked about in, comedic circumstances.
What was your favorite?
Terrorism. I feel like that is a perfect thing to joke about. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with joking about terrorism. You just got to give it a little bit of time.
No. What, 2-3 minutes?
At least a week or two. People died.
Exactly.
You gotta give it time.
It makes it fresh. It makes people vulnerable, which makes it even funnier.
That's where you and me differentiate. I say you gotta give it a little bit of time. Give people some time to mourn.
So I can't think of a time that I've told a terrorist joke, but the other one was cancer.
Okay.
And it's not very often that you can throw a cancer joke out there and it's funny, but I told a cancer joke at work the other day, and it was to somebody that's actually beat cancer.
Uh-huh.
And he was bragging, or he was saying oh man, I'm lighter than you. And I was like, it's probably because all that cancer just riddled your body and made you frail and lost a testicle. And everybody else around us was like, what? Or did you just make fun of him because he had cancer? And then he's laughing, and I'm like, you heard me.
Yeah.
And everybody else was more offended than he was.
Yeah, that's the thing sometimes. I think people like to be the hero and jump to other people's defenses when it comes to jokes, because you have these people who are like, don't say this word, or don't say that, or it's like, but it doesn't affect you in any way. You can't even relate to this joke. Why are you speaking up for these other people?
Yeah.
And the people who actually go through these, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for people who've gone through traumatic events, but it always seems funny to me when other people are so quick to jump to their defense, even though they might be totally cool with it, but they're like, oh no, don't, that's offensive, don't say that.
Like, what's the biggest topic that you think like is bad or like super hard to joke about, I guess?
In today's culture,
Yeah.
Probably definitely anything having to do with race, or obviously race, because race is a huge, you mentioned race, you're just put down immediately. But yeah, also like mental illness, mental disabilities, that's just, to me, that's the biggest one. I'm not saying it should be joked about, or I'm not saying it's okay it's just, those are definitely those are definitely the topics where if you joke about those things, you're gonna get scrutinized by a good amount of people.
Yeah, like
I'm not gonna tell other people to do or don't talk about it or joke about it, but I'm not gonna, I set my own boundaries for myself.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like anything should be fully on limits.
And I don't see a problem with that. It's
like, people are too soft, I feel like, and that is just one thing that will help this world out.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I thought about this earlier, and it's like when people think about when people think about jokes that shouldn't be talked about or mentioned, it's because it brings them back to a place of discomfort, and then once they look at those things, they don't want to go backwards. Like race inequality, you tell black jokes or Asian jokes, or when you mention that kind of stuff, people think back to slavery and inequality, and they think this is our way of, if you're starting to bring that kind of stuff up, we're just going backwards. No, we want to be progressive. We want to go forward. And those kind of jokes bring us backwards. So I think that's kind of the mindset with those kind of jokes.
Well, like, I mean, I just thought of, like, think of South Park or Family Guy. They're some of the most popular TV shows ever that have so many seasons. And their jokes are, like, prominently... I guess I can't remember a few racist jokes in there, but South Park with retard jokes, or jokes like that. I guess there's quite a few racist jokes in there with like the
Oh yeah, there's definitely like
with the
blatant racist jokes in there, but
and stuff like that, but yeah, it's just super popular, and I feel like it's because of those people, like they get away with watching that because they think it's hilarious. They might not say it to the public, like, hey, I think this show's hilarious for this reason, but it is definitely for that reason because it catches people off guard.
And everybody has their own preferences. Some people might watch it and be like, oh, this is hilarious, but there are people who will just watch that and just be uncomfortable with it and be like, no, this isn't for me.
Well, yeah, I meant like a few episodes, but like I watch every episode and it makes me happy.
And South Park, those guys, it's the same thing with Daniel Tosh and his stand-up comedy. Like, people just watch that and they're just like, they just give them a pass. It's like, oh, that's just how they are, so we're not going to change it. There are people that scrutinize, though, but there's not enough to get them shut down.
That's how I feel. Like, I feel like people just like,
like, South Park makes fun of everybody. He makes fun of you, whether you're Democrat, Republican, black, white,
tiny penis,
mentally
retarded.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Disabled. I was
Sure.
He's disabled, but
I'm mentally retarded. It's all whatever. Speaking of shows, that new HBO show, or no, not HBO. Is it? It's just Hulu, isn't it?
yeah,
Catch 22.
Catch 22.
Dude.
That show's amazing.
So like, you got if anybody hasn't watched it yet, gotta watch Catch 22.
Should we do a spoiler warning?
Yeah.
This is kind of our spoiler warning.
Just spoiler warning.
You
We'll
wanna
talk
explain
about it? No, go off. I mean,
Okay.
you're the one that told me about it.
So it's about this bomber, but he's a bomber pilot, but he's not the pilot in World War II.
He's the bombardier.
Yeah. His job is to drop the bombs from the plane. Like, he just takes care of dropping the bombs. And so he gets deployed. They're in Italy. They're doing bombing missions against Nazi Germany. And it starts off with, this guy didn't want to go to war in the first place. That's obvious. And he goes in, and they're like, okay, you got to fly at least 15 missions or something like that, and then you can go home. And they're just like, okay. And then once they start getting into it, like, planes are going down, like, everything's just going haywire. His friends are dying left and right. And in the middle of this, every time that they get close to the amount of deployments or the amount of missions, they keep raising it. So he'll get to like 12 missions left, then they raise it to 20. Then he'll get to 17 missions left, 25, then 30, then 35, and it just keeps going up. And, you know, his buddies are dying, these guys who he serves with. It's just insane. And the way everything goes down throughout the show. It's only 6 episodes long.
Yeah, just a mini series.
Yeah, so if you're into drama and action, that's totally a movie for you. It's insane. It's amazing.
But like upping the missions, I mean, what people might not see or overlook is each mission is probably going to be your last. So say 15 missions, that's like insane amount of missions to fly while artillery shells are being shot at your plane, which is huge up in the sky. And not every plane gets back. So I mean, what, you got like a 1 out of 15 chance of making it back, and they want you to do that 15 times.
Yeah,
and then as soon as you almost get that, then they raise it. And like this guy flew, like he had
52, something like that.
No,
Yeah, 50 plus missions. I'm pretty sure.
I think that 52nd one is the one where he kind of broke. But yeah, he flew like somewhere between 50 and 60 missions.
Okay.
And like towards that end, like 55, I think that was mostly his end goal. I don't know if he actually got 55, but
I think it was between 50 and 55, and the goal was to get 55.
Yeah, and he just broke down. He was like, nope, I'm not wearing that uniform anymore. So he just flew these missions butt naked.
I know,
And I thought that was probably one of the best parts. Like, he was like begging to go home on like insanity plea and faking liver issues. And at the end of this movie, this guy was totally
I guess
insane.
it was a healthier way to cope than just like shooting up his leadership, you know?
Yeah.
Going through and shooting all the higher ups.
And
Seems like, I thought you would think that's where this movie's going. Like, this guy's going mentally insane.
He totally was. And I mean, like, think about it. If you do that and you're getting like that kid that's flying his first mission and you're on your, say, 53rd, that's insane.
Dude, how about that one scene where the first guy that dies, he's like on the plane like window and he's like all blown up and
just
bloody.
shot off and
like
stuck to
landed
his plane.
onto his plane.
And he like reaches out and tries to like wipe the blood off with his finger. Do that, yeah.
On the next mission, that movie was just insane.
Yeah, blew my mind. I was hooked, and like the one there just like playing like, I don't know, chicken with a plane, kills his friend. And
I'm not a big fan of heights, like that kind of stuff. I couldn't be a pilot or anything like that.
Like, imagine your plane going down, and every time your plane almost goes down, you gotta jump out.
Mm-hmm.
I would be totally for it.
I mean, if it was between life and death, it's like, obviously I'm gonna jump out, but you know, I'm not the type to go and skydive for fun.
Oh, I totally would.
Document it.
Oh yeah,
Let's do it.
I'd record it. GoPro.
My cousin went skydiving in Hawaii.
Which one?
I don't want to give names. She's the one that works with us.
Oh, she?
Yeah, she lives in Nashville.
Okay.
So yeah.
Doesn't really narrow it down, but I understand.
Yeah, you don't know her.
How to not?
She's my cousin. Not saying
Okay,
that.
but other than that, shows wise, we just watched Brightburn,
Yeah.
and so
How deep are we gonna get into this?
I mean, obviously another spoiler.
Yeah, don't.
It just came out.
Don't watch. Don't.
Just kind of skip, say 5 minutes ahead. We won't talk talk about it for too long.
Okay.
But, dude, I thought that movie was insane. I loved it. You said it was just crazy. Like, you're not a huge horror fan, but yeah, it's.
No, I wouldn't say that. I love slasher films. I mean, this kind of gave you that slasher vibe, but it was like
It was like
superhero.
50-50
Yeah.
between slasher/horror.
There was a lot of jump scares though. I felt like it was too jump around. Like it's too many jump scares. There wasn't enough suspense
they weren't even
in there.
jump
But that's the problem
scares,
with like
really.
a horror superhero movie. It's like, how else are they gonna come in? Like, you can't build that up too much. It's not like a paranormal movie where it's gonna be all suspense. So what I don't like about paranormal movies is that it's all build up and all suspense, and there's just. But that's what I like about slasher films. It's all suspense, and then in the end, it still ends with like a bloody, like messed up kill.
And they do, like, every scene that somebody's about to die, they end up with, like, jaws broken off.
Yeah,
Or,
like this one. That's the one thing that was nice about this movie was that every kill was just different.
like, I've always
You
wanted.
said, huh?
I've always wanted Superman to use his laser vision to, like, slice some people in half, and in this one, dude, laser beam straight through the eyeballs, and just blew the person's back their head out.
So crazy.
It was awesome.
It was just insane. That's what I meant by insane. It's just like things like you're like, this is a kid. He should be doing this kind of stuff.
Dude, and like, people are insane. Like, he had that full-on, like, mass murderer instinct. Like, he just wanted to see people's organs.
Yeah, it's like he was just born to do that. You know, he had the alien voices in his head, and then he deciphered it, and it was take the world.
It was just like a mental illness.
It's like
But
he
he's
was.
from
That's
another
just what he was born to do. Like, he was a parasite sent there, and that's all he was there for, was to just take over.
And yeah, dude, like,
It
stuff
makes
that
you
when
wonder
have-
what his origin was, like where he came from, which is why, like, I hope they make sequels. I'd like to see the crazy
like,
rope witch lady and see that episode.
Well, that's what we were talking about with, at the end of the movie, I don't remember his actual name, but it's Merle from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
The old guy. And he's like the news reporter, and he's talking about how they have this random figure flying above Brightburn, which is, like, I don't know, anti-Superman, if you want to call it that. He didn't actually have, like, a name.
It's basically, you could just make comparisons.
Yeah, it was just, like, alternate reality, evil Superman. And then what they're talking about in the news reporter is all these other villains terrorizing the town. Like, they gave an example of a witch carrying a rope, which would be Wonder Woman, and the speed demon, which would be the Flash. The
water creature.
Yeah,
whatever,
the water creature
turning over boats, or
wreaking up havoc and causing tsunamis and stuff, which would be Aquaman, obviously. And then they didn't say much about Batman, but if all those heroes are bad, then the villains would be good. But they didn't give actual. It was same superpowers, but different names for everybody.
Right.
Which, I mean, would maybe not be an alternate reality, but something of the same sort.
Yeah, I feel like it was just what did I say earlier?
You said a spoof earlier, but I don't
Not
think
a
that's
spoof, but like, no, it wasn't a spoof. I was saying it was more like a twist. It was just the, it was the same concept, but they just turned it into horror. Like, it's not connected at all to the actual DC universe. Like they're not gonna have like there's no chance of them having a crossover between their world and Superman's world. I could be totally wrong, because
No.
they were using the same director. That was a weird thing about having James Gunn as the director. You would think he would have like some contract with Marvel where he couldn't work with DC or something. If it even was DC. I don't think it was. I don't think DC had anything to do with it, which is why I would think, it must not. It's like everything, like it feels like Brightburn is like an evil reference. Like everything's just reference to.
It's all Smallville and
DC.
Superman, because I mean it has to be. It has all the same superpowers.
Yeah.
And everything like that, super strength and
It was basically just asking what would it. But they just wanted to make it into a horror movie, because I feel like they must have not thought that just making him straight up evil Superman and making him evil, it probably wouldn't relate to audiences as well, because if you took evil Superman and he did all that stuff, who wants to watch evil Superman? Kids. People think you can't make a Superman, you can't make a DC horror movie with Superman and other people and not expect little kids to want to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fair. I know, I watched like DC Universe, that app, and then they had Titans on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the end of Titans, it was a dream. Like Robin had a dream of alternate reality.
Okay.
And it was Batman, but he was like bad, and like so he'd kill people, and stopping Batman that could kill people, that will kill people, was like absolutely impossible, because he's just a killing machine, and like he's obviously one of the top. He can take down Superman because he's a genius, but imagine that genius along with having no restraint.
Right.
And like that's what Titans did for DC Universe, which would kind of be that middle area, I guess I'm trying to say.
Yeah. The only thing I'm wondering is just if they're gonna have, if they're just gonna have sequels, or if they are going to have some type of, what if they had a Justice League version of Brightburn, where it's all the evil people gathered together to like fight one.
I feel like that would be amazing.
This time the protagonist is the evil people, and they're fighting some hero who, you know what I mean? Some hero's gonna come, but the protagonist is the evil people. But that'd make for an interesting movie.
I feel like it would be great, especially like James Gunn is a stud, obviously with Guardians of the Galaxy and.
They already made reference to like all the other supervillains, so it's like, why not just keep going?
They did. And I feel
why
like
not just make every villain origin story and then do something with
all
it.
of them. But imagine having like a Batman one, because that would be insane.
Just like his parents get killed, so instead of, he just has hate for people or something.
Yeah, he just hates the city.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that, and just goes on a rampage. I feel like that would be insane.
Solid.
But, oh wow, we're just going back and forth with topics. But, Catch-22. How they go back and forth between the cities and transport. They go to Rome.
Yeah.
And hang out for a little bit, and they run into like all the prostitutes.
Yeah.
And then the one guy, what's his name?
The lieutenant?
I think so. The one that falls in love with the one girl.
Oh,
the
no,
prostitute.
No. But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, so like he falls in love with the prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just can't get behind that.
He was just totally oblivious to like what was going on. You could see.
No, he wasn't oblivious, but he was just okay with it. Because like that he wasn't totally oblivious, because they were walking down the street.
So just some backstory. This soldier there's this group of soldiers who are a part of this bombing team, and they all go to. Do you know the actual name of the city?
It's Rome.
Is it Rome?
Yep. It was
So they go to Rome and they all gather together at this brothel or whatever, and they meet with prostitutes, and that's just where they go to blow off steam and stuff.
It's kind of like their base in Rome. Their major ordered that they take control of this building. It's kind of like a hotel/apartment that they'd be stationed there for the time being until they could scout out the bombing areas. So that's where they were stationed, is in that. And then the I don't know what it would be called then, but the pimp, basically.
Yeah. Well, one of the airmen falls in love with one of the prostitutes, and he's spouting off about how he loves this girl and how he needs more money so that he could spend more time with this girl.
Yeah, he's
but
still
it's
paid
like,
for her.
And she's talking to the, I guess you would call him the pimp. She was talking to the pimp like I'm trying to think.
She's asking for permission. Like,
No.
hey,
Well, but he's talking about how, oh, I need more money so I can spend more time with this girl, and he's like, the pimp or whatever, he's like, so you're in love with her? He's like, yeah, I am. He's like, I'll give you 2 free hours, and she's like, I still get paid for this, right? And that's when you realize, oh, she's totally playing him, and I think he was just totally oblivious to like how much she was actually just playing him.
Oh, for her part, but like, yeah, he didn't care that she was a prostitute. And like, even if they were like walking on the streets and like a car rolled up full of the other officer guys that were like a higher rank than he was, instantly she was gone.
Just went into their car.
And like you turn around and she was like driving away and like would slightly wave at him, and yep, gone in the distance. She's hooking up with
probably my
other
favorite
penises.
part of that whole show is when he's talking to that prostitute's little sister. She's probably like 12 years old or something, and he's trying to give her, his buddy died, and the buddy who falls in love with the prostitute died. So before he died, he was gonna ask this prostitute to marry him. So the friend has this wedding ring, and he's trying to give it to the little sister and be like, I'm trying to find your sister so I give this ring to her. And she doesn't understand him, and he doesn't understand her, and she thinks he's trying to ask her to marry him. And she's like, she says in
it's
Italian, like, she's like, I don't know how to do it. Is it okay if I do it with my hand? And he's like, gosh, I wish I could understand you. And
yeah, like
she's
he's totally oblivious.
She's like,
she's
is my hand okay? And he's like, oh, no.
Yeah, like he finally kind of catches on, like, no, I'm not proposing to you. I don't want any of that. Just stay back and, here, no, just keep the ring. He just ends up giving it to her so she can sell it or whatever. She sells, like, little trinkets or whatever. But,
that whole scene was just hilarious.
That movie is, like, the perfect mixture. Like, has little bits of comedy in it, but then, like,
major
the dear God, holy
of
shit
trauma.
moments. Yeah.
Like, wow.
Which is insane. I guess, speaking of insane, since, I mean, we're drinking here a little bit. So I was on Reddit today, and, like, I don't know, like, when you get lost into the deep parts of YouTube, like, just looking on different, like, next comments or video to video to video.
Right.
I was like clicking on just subreddits, and then like next subreddit, and then the next subreddit, and I just went to like a dark place.
Okay. And
so like apparently there's just a bunch of different ones, and I ran into this guy, and he was talking about I don't know, like the subreddit was just, I think it was called like I love manipulation. Like manipulating people.
Okay.
And I was like, that sounds kind of weird. So I just click on it, and he talked about he loved like manipulating people and tricking them. Like he said like women was the first one into like getting to be his girlfriend or whatever, and like they would usually always just fall in love with him. Like that's how good he was, and like he was the one. And then as soon as it got to that point, he would just break it off, like, done. And then just leave it, and just to see him hurt. And like that's the part he thought was the best. Is to see them absolutely broken, and he thought that was funny. So that's what he loved. I was like, what? This is Reddit?
That's
just darkness. And like, and he was like, it's not just girls. I love doing it with guys too. Like to be their best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you build trust with like a guy, and then you be like best friends, and he's like build all that trust up. Just be we're not friends anymore. And just to leave him in the dark, just totally like, what'd I do? He's like, that was the funniest thing imaginable. Like that was his humor. It's just breaking hearts. And like, I don't know, I just related it to like, I don't know if you've ever seen American Psycho with Christian Bale.
No.
Probably one of the greatest movies ever. You gotta watch that one again. But yeah, he was basically exactly like, he was a perfectionist. Like a guy was asking my questions on there, like, why do you do this? Like, is it really that easy? Like, is it based off your looks? And the guy went on there and said like, probably say like I'm 8 out of 10. Which, I mean, Christian Bale in American Psycho was a good looking guy. He's a perfectionist. And he just kind of manipulates people, like seduces them, like becomes friends with them or girlfriend, and then murders them. And does that. But this guy is doing basically everything except for murdering him. And it was like a perfect match. And yeah, that just blew my mind. And there's other just weird like sites on there. Like one of them was like a subreddit for adultery.
Okay.
And so like people go on there just to confess. Like it was just like a confession site of like, hey, I just cheated on my significant other. Like not even asking for help.
You're right.
But like I just cheated on him, and I've been cheating on him for like say 6 to 8 months, and just found out 2 days ago we're now broken up, and I guess I'm now just starting to feel bad about it. They're like, I really love this person. Don't get me wrong, I loved my significant other, but then like this part was super fun. Like they're like, I just don't understand why I can't have fun where I want to have fun, and just did that. Like not really. Some of them were remorseful, but then other ones were just kind of.
You're just asking for an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah, they were just confused about it. Like I don't know what I did wrong, but yeah, just some of those. Like I guess I've never dug into Reddit super much. I look at it for like answers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not a big Reddit guy.
I've never like really looked at it for fun, I guess, until I was just looking for stuff.
Now you're hooked.
To look for it, and dude, and like there's the you look up subreddits, and then they show like comments for each one, but then you can go like best rated or best voted, popular, recent, and then there's one that's controversial comments. Those are where you get the best answer, like best comments on there. And oh yeah, without a doubt. But oh man. But he did that, and yeah, made it amazing. Like it was just so funny. And
so if you're looking for entertainment, go to Reddit apparently and look for the what kind of comments was it again?
Controversial
comments.
Yeah, controversial comments. Oh, I was looking at just like funny questions today, and like I just thought this one was good. Like there was quite a few of them, but then, like most of them were just kind of gay, just weak. But this one I thought was good. It's what sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to, which kind of adds to this what we're doing now. Like imagine somebody playing hockey.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Hockey
blitzed out of their mind. Like, dude, I can't have any coordination on ice skates. Like I'm sliding all over the place. Dude, imagine just running into a wall like 18, 25 miles an hour, however fast you can go on ice skates. I don't even know.
We should do that next No Talent League game.
Oh my god, no!
Just start drinking.
Dude,
I will.
You
videotape me. I'll do it.
I'd probably be making snow angels on the ice. But like that, I mean, football, I feel like maybe I'd be able to manage. baseball, I've seen that go super wrong playing like beer
You
league
shouldn't.
softball.
You shouldn't pitch when you've been heavily drinking.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't know if I ever told you playing softball one year. One guy had it's like 10 a.m. And we had a tournament going, and a guy had already drank like a 24 pack of beers. Like he was going hard, and he was blitzed. Like he could hardly walk by 10 a.m. And we were playing our game, a few innings in, like one or two, and he was up to bat, swung, made contact with the ball just by the grace of God, went to run off to first, slipped on home plate. One step in, face plants right in the dirt. That was it. And he just said, he started crawling. First, I can't get up. And obviously they get the ball to first before he could manage. Like, he crawled about 3 feet, maybe made it to his knees by the time the ball got to first. He's like, I can't do this. And he was playing, I think, second base. But yeah, dude, definitely a hazard to be on the field.
I'm sure that made for an entertaining game, though.
Oh, dude, he was terrible.
What would be another good drunk game?
Like basketball, I feel like would be rough.
But we're not saying rough. We're thinking funny, like as in comedic.
Yeah, and I'm just going through, like, not funny, just kind of putting them off. Bowling, that's already a drunk sport, so I mean, it wouldn't change anything.
I guess it also depends on what kind of drunk you mean, like plastered, or you mean like tipsy where they're just goofy.
I know, it just says mandatory amount. I mean, when I think mandatory, I think of pretty high.
I think hockey is definitely just number one. That's one.
I don't know, that one just
But it has to be
obviously
talented guys, though. It can't be just like, or maybe guys who've never played hockey before. That'd be funny. It's funny to just watch guys
like,
get onto the ice and like have no idea what they're doing.
mediocre. Something that doesn't have that. I mean, because it has something to do with muscle memory. So, I mean, like, if you have the muscle memory there of skating and you're just a god on the ice, then, I mean, alcohol probably won't affect you as much as somebody like you or I on the ice.
Right.
Like, we drink a little bit and then try to get on the ice and be like, I want to go fast. And not be able to go fast. I am speed. And then just face plant, lose all of our teeth on this ice.
I'm in. Let's do it.
But yeah, just hockey came to mind right away. Dude, that would be hardcore. And like a lot of those guys, I mean, it's hockey. Canadians drink a natural light.
Yeah, but they're not gonna drink before they play hockey. No,
dude, they drink beer out of the Stanley Cup. How many other like sports? Like, you know what? I'm gonna smash a beer against the Lombardi Trophy and shotgun it.
Did you see that one video?
Probably
there was a video of offensive lineman for the Green Bay Packers. He was just chugging beers, and then he calls out Aaron Rodgers across the stadium, and he can't even finish the one.
1 minute, half a beer. No, I'm done.
And then he finishes the third one, and it's just like, you legend.
Yeah,
calling out your own quarterback,
dude. Yeah, that guy was a monster.
It's amazing the things that these quarterbacks do for their offensive linemen, though. I'm pretty sure, I think it was Cam Newton who bought their offensive linemen like all new ATVs or something. Just crazy stuff. Or no, I think it was Russell Wilson. Because Russell Wilson got like a raise and he bought like brand new ATVs for all of his offensive linemen or something.
Pretty sweet.
It's crazy.
Like, I feel like I would buy... I know, like, one guy bought them all, like, fancy bottles of, like, Chardonnay or Champagne or whatever it was. That would be cool. I feel like I would go all out. Like, if I had that much money, I'd be like, yeah, I'll be able to, like, if I see something sweet, I would just buy it for everybody.
Yeah.
But it'd be sweet.
It's hard to say what I would do with all that money. Probably just stow it all away. I'm
gonna spend it all.
Nah, I know.
But, you know, like, on my teammates, I would spend a good, whatever it costs.
Well, yeah.
Then my teammates would care.
You know, it's a brotherhood. They protect you and you take care of them. That's how it should be.
Yeah. But, the other question, I guess I had two.
Okay.
The other one was grossest restaurant story.
Oh.
I know one came to mind for me like right away.
Grossest restaurant story. Okay, so take away from that first. Did you hear that they found a caged pigeon at the Chinese restaurant in Fargo?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Some Chinese buffet in Fargo, and they had a friggin' caged pigeon in the back room. Pigeons?
Multiple pigeons living in like it was a small cage.
Did you read the comments?
I didn't read the comments.
A lot of them were like, still gonna eat there. Who cares? I'm like, are you people crazy?
Dude, pigeons are probably one of the dirtiest, like most diseased bird or animal out there.
They're just...
I mean, like, imagine taking a bite out of your chicken and it's a little chewier than normal. I know what'd be going through my head. I'm like, this is pigeon. This is not chicken. This is not cat. This is not dog. This is pigeon. Nothing normal about it.
Pigeon tastes like, so I couldn't tell you.
Not good. Probably super greasy. It tastes like
Greasy.
disgusting disease.
It's greasy. I know what this is. It's a pigeon. It's too greasy.
Dude, ask a Russian. A Russian has definitely ate a pigeon sometime in their life.
Russians eat horses, not pigeons.
No, Russians love pigeons, trust me.
Do they?
Oh, yeah. I grew up with Russians.
Really?
They love pigeons.
Why?
I don't know. It's just
Is this a fact?
Oh, yeah, definitely a fact. Dude, they love pigeons as pets. They keep...
But like to eat?
No, I don't know about eating.
Oh, okay.
But as pets.
Pigeons are funny, though.
They love... They keep them as, like, messenger pigeons. I don't know what they do with them, but they love them.
I remember the first time I went to Washington, D.C., and, like, we would watch the pigeons, like, walk across the crosswalk with, like, all the other people. As soon as the light turns green, it's like...
They get desensitized for people.
They're adapting into
They don't want to get
people.
hit by a car. They're not dumb. They're really dumb, but they're not that dumb.
Exactly. That's what's so weird. They're like, you think they're so dumb, and it's like they wait for lights to turn red to
But
cross
they fly
the
into
street.
windows. They'll fly right into a window and die. I don't know.
Okay,
Oh.
so back to gross. Do you want to go first since you already have?
Yeah, the one restaurant, you know what restaurant I'm talking about. So we went there, and there's quite a few of us. There's like 8 friends, and we were sitting there, and it just smelled terrible. It smelled like somebody just filled their pants.
The sandwich place?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not the sandwich place. And it just
Wait.
smelled terrible. It reeked of paint and
Oh,
and
okay.
just shit. And we're looking around, and as I look over at this like 300-pound waitress. Looks like she has Down syndrome. She's just disgusting. Look, obviously, like, we're looking around, and dude, her pants are around the like middle of the crack area to up and around to the taint area. It's wet. It looks like she just filled her pants. Like, dude, she totally shat herself, and she's just been like, I don't know, moseying around at work. Yeah, she's just like, oh, I only got 3 more hours to go. And she's just been working that thing. Just working it through the pants. It's just soaked through. It's like she's wearing a diaper. It's thicker than the rest of the pants. It's filled. And that's all you smell. And she's like leaning over tables, helping people up, taking orders. She's the bus girl, taking plates. But yeah, all while that's just all her golden doubloons filling her underwear. No thanks.
I don't really have a gross restaurant story, but I mean, I can tell you about the one time I got food poisoning. It was a week after we moved back from New York, and you were like, let's go to a Chinese buffet. So we have 2 Chinese buffets, so I'll let you guys guess which one in Jamestown. So we went to this Chinese buffet.
It's a good one. That's the bad part. It's the only good one in town.
I like the other one too.
No,
I would
garbage.
say
Have you
that
been
either.
there lately?
Which one?
The one downtown.
Yeah,
Garbage.
I like it.
Garbage.
Okay, so we've kind of cut it down to which one it is. So went to the Chinese buffet. So we eat. It's just normal day, and I'm supposed to start working. Like next day, I'm feeling a little sick. I'm fine for the most part, and it's like I feel a little sick to my stomach, but it's like I made it through the day. That night, though, I was just like, I was having sulfur burps. Do you know what sulfur burps are?
Just spicy.
No, it's like
That's sexy.
It tastes like you're burping up crap. So
I like that.
So later that night, I'm like, all right, I am gonna have to throw up, and it's just like the most violent, the most violent throwing up. Thanks for the sound effects. The most violent throwing up that I've had in forever. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, and I was just, dude, my stomach was empty. There was no more stomach acid. There was no more food content in there. It was just all out there. It was just so bad.
It's fantastic.
But yeah, that was the first and only time I have ever gotten food poisoning.
Like never a gross bathroom. Like I know. I was at one diner, and it was late at night, probably like 2 a.m. Went into the bathroom, and we were checking out, and the waitress was like, "Do you guys know that guy in the bathroom? He's been in there for like 30 minutes." And we're like, "No." And then she's like, "I know this is weird, but he's in the men's restroom. Do you mind checking on him?" I'm like, absolutely. Like, I don't know. It's just me and my late night adventures. I was all in. I was like, yes, I'll check on this guy in the bathroom for you. So me and my friend go to this bathroom, and the stall's closed, and I knock on the door. I'm like, "You okay in there, man?" And I just hear like, and I was like, all right, this guy's obviously, if he can't like just say, "Yeah, I'm okay," probably not okay. And so like I'm like, can I get something more than that? Like, are you gonna live? Can you get up? Like, are you just gonna stay in there? And then there's no answer after that. So I was like, is it cool if I open this door? And it was nothing. So I like just press on it, totally unlocked, and just sling the stall door open, and he's like just slumped. Like like everything's on. He was just sitting on the toilet. His pants were on, and like his phone was on the ground, and his like head was like in between his knees, like totally folded in half.
Just trying to get away from the crazy wife or something.
Like probably puking in the toilet, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, sit down," and passed out.
Where was this?
Perkins.
Oh, of course.
And so like I go in there and I'm like, "You good, man?" And then like I pick up his phone, and as soon as I pick up his phone, I'm like, "Here, man, here's yours." He's like, "Oh, thanks, man." And like comes alive as soon as I touch his phone to hand it back to him. I'm like, if you need help, just throw your arm around me and I can carry you out of here. And so like I pick him up off this toilet, and we're carrying him out, and come out of the bathroom, and like the waitress is just like waiting there intently. She's like, "Is he good?" And so like we're about to leave, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. He hasn't paid yet." And so like I turn and look at this guy. I'm like, "You got a wallet on you? Or like anything?" He's like, and he just hands me his entire wallet. And I was like, and he only got like his ID and a credit card. And that's all he's got in his wallet. No cash, no other cards. Like I got like 70 cards I feel like in my wallet. But nope, just debit card and ID. And so I was like, I don't know, try this. She does that, and she's like, "I need a signature." And I'm like, "Scribble on this." And the guy's like, and just like smashes the pen across this receipt. I'm like, okay, that works. And do that. And she's like, how old is he? I don't know. He was like, I don't know, 19 or 20 or something at the time. And I was like, nah, don't call the cops. We'll drive him over to the hotel or whatever, drive him back home, whatever he's need to do. She's like, "Oh my god, okay." And so we ask him, like, "You got a place to go, like an apartment or house, friend's house to go?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "What do you mean no? How do you not have anywhere to go? You live in town here, and you've been at..." I was like, "Your friends left you at Perkins." Like, his friends bailed him. Like, he went to the bathroom, and they just left. And so, like, he's like, "Take me to the motel or hotel or whatever is closer."
Motel.
So we went to, like, Motel 8 and just, like, carried him in. And, like, as soon as we flew it to the front stand, like, he wanders off and just sits in the lobby. And I was like, he's going to need one room. And she's like, can I get an ID? And I'm like, dude, toss me your wallet. And he just like throws it and I catch it and I just like give all his stuff. And
Did he have a room?
yeah, we got a room for him.
Oh, you got a room for him? You didn't already have a room?
No, we had to buy a room. Like, he bought a room for himself.
I wonder if he woke up the next day just pissed like, shit, I didn't have the money for this.
And like, I was like, do you need help to your room, man? He's like, nah. And to this day, I don't know if he got to his room alive, what happened the next day. I've never seen him again. I don't know who he was. But then like, I went back to Perkins like 2-3 days later, and like the waitress is like, she like looked, and then she like kept doing what she's doing, and she's like, wait, you're the guy from the other night that helped carry the guy out of here. And I was like, yeah. She's like, and then she wanted to know the full story of what happened after that. So I like set her down and I was like, yep, this is what happened. She's like, oh my God. And it like blew her mind that like we just went through this after we were paid our bill. And it was amazing.
I have a similar drunk story. So, dealing with drunk people, my parents, they are notorious for making new friends. So, my parents' friends from Devil's Lake, they were down here. And it was for the running of the green. And I was their DD for that night because I think I was only 20 years old at the time. And I was driving them around. I took them to Hugo's. They wanted to go to Hugo's for some reason that night. So, this is like middle of the night, probably.
Is Hugo's even open at that?
I don't know, probably. I think they're 24 hours now. Something like that. They're open late, that's all I know. So I take him to Hugo's. There's this guy there, and he's asking for directions. He's like, hey, I'm looking for my friends. We got a hotel. We're like, do you know where the hotel is? He's like, somewhere in that direction. He basically points like towards where Applebee's is and everything. And we're just like, yeah, we're not quite sure. If you just walk down this street and just follow it all the way up, you'll get there eventually. And he's like, okay, thanks. And so we drive around a little bit and we keep going. We're driving, at some point later, we're driving by Domino's. Here's this guy just stumbling down the street and he's just walking by. We're like,
he only made it like 3 blocks.
Yeah, we're like, we should probably give this guy a ride. So we pick him up. He's like, thanks, man. We're like, so do you know what hotel you're staying at? He's like, I don't know. I think it's up by Walmart. And it's like, there's like 3 hotels up there. And we're just like, do you know which one? I don't know. Do you have a hotel key on you? Maybe. And he pulls out his wallet. He's like, Quality Inn. Okay, we know that one. It's like, where are you from, buddy? He's like, oh, I go to NDSU. And it's like, oh, that's cool. And like, yeah, man. It's like, where's your friends? Oh, those assholes left me.
Dude, I don't know what's up with people always leaving people
Don't
behind.
leave your drunk friends behind.
Alright, I guess I could say that. But you know how many times I've been left behind? Quite a few times.
I don't blame them. You're a handful.
But I disappear too. I feel like I drop smoke bombs at times. Like,
probably.
I feel like I make it like a lesson. I'm like, I'm gonna disappear.
But
these people think they have an eye on me. They don't have a clue.
Yeah, we dropped it. So in this guy's wallet, we looked through his wallet and he has a Quality Inn card. So we're like, all right, we're dropping you off at the Quality Inn. So we just dropped him off and left him there.
That's close enough.
He had a key there. I mean, what's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario, he passes out in the lobby and then his friends find him the next morning. At least he's at the right hotel.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
I mean, it's Jamestown. What's he gonna do? Drift off to the nearest place, which would be like Paradiso or something?
Yeah. Doesn't even matter.
No. Somebody would find him. That's the thing about North Dakota is that it's pretty rare that somebody's gonna take advantage of you.
I wish somebody would take advantage of me.
I'm so lonely. That reminds me of Detective Pikachu. Should we talk Detective Pikachu?
I mean,
it's not too early for spoilers.
No, I mean, not saying spoilers. It is a good movie, but I just loved like the little like
The
I don't know.
adult jokes.
Adult jokes, just like subliminal, I don't know, whatever you want to say, the subliminal messages.
Yeah.
But just jokes that go over kids' heads. And like, Pikachu, here, smell my fingers. He's like, absolutely not. Never put your fingers in my face again. And just like things like that. Dude, I was dying at that movie. There's probably like 2 or 3 of them that really, like, probably the smell my fingers one was the top one.
I love how Ryan Reynolds like turns out to be the real dad. Like they actually had Ryan Reynolds on it.
Yeah.
And it's like my like one of my thoughts was, I told Kennedy this later, I'm like, you know, this makes sense, like why his mom was so much more dark skinned. Like they had to make her so much darker and him white because, like, you know, he's like mixed, you know what I mean?
And Ryan Reynolds is one white dude.
Yeah.
So
I was shocked by it, but it's like, it makes sense now.
yeah, I was shocked and I was like, okay. I thought it was a solid movie.
I loved it.
I mean,
It
like,
was
if
so
it was
great. I hope they come out with more live action Pokemon movies. It's like, it's great.
I feel like they're solid.
Yeah.
I always
mean,
liked watching Pokemon
just
as
use
a
the
kid.
same, just don't change, just change the storylines. Like, just add new storylines, keep all the same Pokemon animations, and that was weird.
Yeah, it was like a big thud.
Life alert.
Help! Help, I've fallen and I can't get up. That's what I call this guy at work. He always falls down. He's like an old guy. And like,
You call him Life Alert?
yeah, he's super
Perfect.
fat. And I just call him, yo, Life Alert. I don't know if he likes it, but that's what he's getting called. So
It's not for me to decide.
he's got to deal with it. Oh, I guess we can do like one last question or one last topic,
Okay.
I guess.
We'll see how long it lasts us, and then
Yeah.
go for it, man.
So I was actually talking about this today with other people.
Okay.
Is just purely thinking with logic. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like different scenarios where people are like, yeah, I've studied this, but really you can just get through it like logic. Like bomb threats. Like I was talking to a guy and like they treat everything as if it was a serious problem. Great. But some of them could be like a 5-minute drill that he was giving me examples. Like one time, like an entire building, like all the surrounding buildings and like neighborhood had to be evacuated for like an entire day because they found this bomb out in a field.
Okay.
And what it was is it was a circuit board sitting on a piece of wood. And the description of it, like how it was found, was a manager of one of the buildings was mowing a yard.
Okay.
And this bomb was sitting out there, and he ran into it while mowing, saw it, picked it up, was like, nah, kicked it, and was like, get that thing out of my way, kept going. And then he like just threw it off to the side and somebody else saw it.
Okay.
And they're like, that's a bomb! So like, they didn't see this guy kick it, but they called it in, bomb team came, secured the area, evac, called like the manager who had it, and he was like, yeah, I did this and all that. Yeah, maybe it could be a bomb. And this guy is like, the bomb guy.
I love how he kicks it, like the balls on this guy. Like,
obviously, if you see him just a metal like circuit board screwed onto a piece of wood, zip ties going through it, you're not like, my life's in danger. No, it looks like a piece of trash.
yeah, it's the
Like-
same thing with what was that one thing? The clock kid or whatever. Like he made a clock and people thought it looked like a bomb or something.
It's like tying a fuse to a soccer ball. Oh my god, it's a bomb. Like, I don't know, like people, I don't feel like you have to have a 12-hour lockdown because there's a circuit board out in the middle of a field. But like,
Yeah.
and doing that and kids threatening like schools.
That was
like,
so crazy. The school lockdown the other day. When I first heard about that,
yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, at our high school, there was a kid who rode a bicycle with a gun strapped. He walks up to the school front doors, realizes that the doors are locked,
no.
and then walks away. And that's the end of it.
The balls on this kid.
Like, dude, Lord knows what would have happened if those doors were unlocked. Lord knows what would have happened if, it's crazy, man.
Locked doors are game changers.
It's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, that kid, he's in custody. That's a good thing.
Yeah, he was picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, they obviously drove
They have
around
him in custody,
and
so
picked him up after he was leaving.
I don't know if he turned himself in or if they had to search it, like if they found out where he lived or what, but yeah. They didn't release. I'm surprised like 5 different people shared it on my timeline, but nobody like took the time to ask the question, do they know who this kid is? Do they know?
I don't think they released it yet.
Yeah, but I mean like people who you would think word would spread around after a while.
I saw it. Yeah. Especially here. Yeah, just disregard that. But yeah, just spreads quick and does that.
Some old lady banging.
Bah, 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 bah. Nah, it's whatever. But yeah, does that, but like, it's like a hammer. I don't even know what
That is a hammer.
it sounds like a hammer. Somebody's hammering away at like 1 a.m. But like
I don't think it's like somebody like trying to like get us to shut up because it's like constantly
it's
going.
constantly like a hammer into a wall. But I don't know.
Somebody's tapping.
But yeah, just stupid people not using their brain. Like you could get through life easily, purely using just logic and remembering.
There they go again.
Remembering what happened from last time.
That like shut the fuck up.
But yeah, that's okay. But so I mean, yeah, it's just stupid. And yeah, I think we should just end it there. I mean, that's a pretty good. We both had enough to drink. This is a good ending point. Or we will come back hot and heavy. You know what we should do?
Tapping down there. I'm sorry. I'm just getting distracted.
It might even just be a pipe. I don't even know. But we should come back hot and heavy like next week. Get a few people in here, play some games.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be our next one.
Dude, I mean,
Come back with a solid, just laughing time. Have fun. Yeah. So, peace out, peeps. Love you
all.
Just
You're just getting louder.
boom.
I'm so distracted by the people like banging down there. Alright. Peace out, peeps. I love you.